Hello and welcome, luminous beings of light. Thank you for joining me here at SoulFire Alchemist. I'm your hostess, SoulFire, and today I'm going to talk to you about our full moon in Aries coming up and a little bit of the astrology that's going to be coming up here in the next couple of weeks that are kind of on the important side that I feel that you should know about. Thursday, September 29th. Venus enters Libra, so now she's going to be in her home sign, and we've really got to hang on to her. Okay, I want you to remember that, because there aren't many other planets in their home sign, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and when a planet is in the zodiac sign that it rules, it's exalted. It's what we call exalted, and that means it's in its best, highest place, right? Really good energy. And I gotta tell you, love, with 6 planets in retrograde, that's a good thing right now. Very good thing. Probably the only thing that we have for a while. So one of the things I want to tell you before moving on is that I want you to know that Mercury does go direct on Sunday, October 2nd. Me personally, I look at it as the 3rd. But it's going to remain in its shadow throughout about October 4th or 5th, okay? So things in the Mercury areas still are going to have that undertone of a retrograde until we pull out of the shadow period, which is going to be around October 5th, okay? So just giving you a heads up on that one. But the good news is that we're headed out, okay? So for, that Pluto retrograde energy, it's coming after a lot of different things, but there's a lot of sextiles being created with this energy, which to me is very good news. You see that right there is beautiful healing energy for your wounds. Venus in Libra is opposing Jupiter in Aries. Okay, so this is a push-pull between the me and we energy, right? So there could be an ego battle, but I'm telling you that it's just not worth it. Try, if you can, to lay it out in that sort of sword and find a balance, okay? This is not a good time to, be quick-tongued. It's just not. Moving into Sunday, all right? This is moving us into the second quarter of the month. Mercury finally stations direct, you guys. Yay! The moon is now going to be entering Capricorn, right? And this occurs at 3:38 a.m. or 12:38 a.m., depending on if you're the east or the west coast. Like I said, Mercury will be going direct. And the moon in Capricorn, though, is going to be having some hardships that day. So even though we've got Mercury technically stationing direct, he's still in the shadow energy. And the moon now being in Capricorn, people are more focused on their business, on their work, on their career. And that's going to be on people's minds. And it's at the beginning of a new month, or people are going to be thinking about their business for the month of October and wondering what they're going to do and planning out the rest of the year. And this is the frame of mind people are going to be in. You might be one of them and you might not be. But this square to Jupiter in Aries and the square that it is making to Mercury in Libra, let's just take it one by one, shall we? That tells me, see, Jupiter wants to expand energy, and Aries is a very heady, like mind energy, even though it's not ruled by Mercury or anything. It's a fire sign, right? But, it's got that big, huge expansion to it. And it's quick-tempered. It can be very impulsive, that Aries energy, and squaring over to that moon in Virgo. That moon in Virgo don't want impulsivity at all. So that's what that challenge is going to be about, right? So it's going to be a tug-of-war between your emotions, how you're feeling, and what the outside world, or maybe even your own work or life, is demanding of you. So I know, like one weekend, I had a complete disconnect between my body and my mind, because my mind was somewhere else. It had things it had to do, and it didn't matter to me. My body was hurting so bad I was about to collapse. I had to actually collapse before I realized, oh my God, this is how bad this disconnect was, you guys. So, I mean, seriously, pay attention to this stuff. It's important. When you start noticing the patterns and connecting dots, it really makes a big difference. So that's what I want to tell you about Sunday. So just keep an eye out for those things. And then moving on into Monday, October 10th. Oh, wait, let me step back once, because I completely skipped one of my pages. Okay, so moving into the 3rd. The moon is going to be in Capricorn all day this day. So just know that right off the bat. So when I say the moon is squaring over 2, you'll understand that the moon is in Capricorn. Okay, and this is for Monday, October 3rd. The moon early that morning will be squaring Chiron and Aries. So pay attention to your dreams or something that has happened that is surrounding that. It could actually be bringing you either some sort of healing or a reminder. Okay, it could be bringing up a reminder of some karma. It could be a reminder of some underlying trauma or childhood trauma that you've yet to deal with, that needs to be dealt with. Okay, it's just knocking at your door, that's all. It's saying, hey, don't forget me. Moving on up towards the mid-morning hours, there's going to be a beautiful trine with that moon to the Uranus in Taurus. So you're going to get a shock, upheaval, or surprise of some sorts as it relates to your money or your values and that, that sort of thing. The things that you love and find beautiful. But it'll be a good surprise, right? It'll be something to do with how you feel about the structure of those things, right? The durability even of those things. So kind of keep that in mind, right? That's what I'm picking up intuitively. And then finally headed on towards going on up towards the end of the day, we have that same moon making an odd aspect with Mercury and Gemini. So no, that could make communication a little bit quirky. Just be extra clear with your communication midday going on into the afternoon. People's coffee starts wearing off, be more straight up with your talk. So moving on into the afternoon around 7 o'clock, that moon is going to be making a beautiful sextile over to Neptune in Pisces, which is going to be making you have all sorts of beautiful dreams and visions and goals, and the things that you can build and bring forth and birth into the world, and the new jobs that you could possibly take on and manifest for your career. Oh yes, it could be. It could be. It could have something else to do with things that rule Capricorn. But Capricorn in general rules all things. Building, foundations, fundamentals, capitalism, foundations, government, structures, institutions, top down, all that kind of stuff, right? So just kind of keep that in mind, right? And then also following that, we're going to see a beautiful trine coming in behind that again with this beautiful Mars in a Virgo energy, which I love because Virgo is my moon. Mercury is at home there, and I am so much more calm, you guys. It is awesome. And finally, we're going to be having a conjunction of the moon and Capricorn on top of that Pluto and Capricorn during a moon void, of course, you all. Well, what does that mean, you might ask? It means a lot of things. Could mean nothing. Could be anything. Heck, it could mean all things for all I know. But what I do know is this. The way you feel about truth, about transformation, about death, and I don't just mean death like letting people you love go. I'm talking about death like dying to the things that don't serve anymore. That old shadow work we don't like doing so good. Because we don't like looking at how we're not so perfect. okay? My friends, Monday night for you, that's what this is all about. This is your calling card. And your emotions are coming, and Pluto are coming together with Capricorn to check on you and see how you're doing with this. It wants a report. What kind of report are you going to give it? Been doing the inner work? Have you been using these full and new moons to let go of the shit that is not benefiting your life? And adopting new things and people and circumstances and situations in your life that's bringing you levity? Because if you're not doing that work, my friend, you're not going to be feeling so hot probably Monday night, I would say. But moving into the 4th, there will be some reprieve as we continue to move on into that second quarter. Yom Kippur begins at sundown, of course, for those of you that celebrate. And the moon will be entering Aquarius, and I am happy about that. Now, when the moon enters Aquarius, we all tend to feel a little bit more freedom, a little bit more rebellious. We tend to be a little bit more mad or pissed off if we feel like our privacy or our rights are being violated. We don't like people knowing things that only ourselves get to know. And so we start to become a little bit more suspicious of things like technology and things like that. And rightfully so. That's Aquarius energy a little bit there. So with the moon energy being there, you're going to be experiencing a little bit more freedom and seem a little bit more aloof and distant. And it can be somewhat of a detached energy and not so emotional. So it does give a little bit of emotional reprieve, I feel, when the moon is in Aquarius. And that moon in Aquarius will be giving a beautiful sextile to the Aries, the Jupiter in Aries, right? And that's going to be in the morning. And so that's really going to help you figure out, hey, this is what's working for me. This is what's flowing and dancing, right? Because this is sextile energy. So for sure, you're trying to figure out how to work it out, get that flow going just right. And the universe wants to provide you with that flow. And yeah, you're going to be getting some codes downloaded this day. Pay attention. October 4th, it is an auspicious day. The moon in Aquarius will also be making a beautiful trine over to, and this is an air trine, right? Oh yes, a beautiful air trine, and another beautiful trine also with the sun. These are both involving Aquarius and Libra, so these are both grand air trines. And that's beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful energy with Venus and the sun in Libra. So Venus at home in Libra, the sun there to illuminate the balance, the harmony, the peace, the relationships in your life, and the one, of course, with yourself. And Pluto's going to be there to shine a light for you with just you, with nothing but you, the moon and the truth, the naked truth, with Pluto the night before that on Monday night. Now, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. Moving on to Wednesday, we are now fully moon in Aquarius, sextiling the sun in Libra. That's going to continue on. The sextile also moves on to Chiron in Aries, which is going to bring beautiful healing realizations and epiphanies for you of how to set yourself free, no matter what that means to you, or bring yourself your own truth and your own freedom. That is what that means, right? This can be a universal truth. This can be a community truth, a family truth, a personal truth, a state truth, a country truth, a universal truth, a cosmic truth, right? So this is as above, so below. So with as within, so without too, right? So that's what this is about, is bringing that healing to you, the truth out to you. And it's working in graduation, because when that gets done, and it's done on its healing, the moon in Aquarius is making a square over to Uranus and Taurus, giving you the shake up, to give you the wake up, to see what has not been covered yet. If there is something left uncovered, you're going to know about it, because it's going to shake it out. And then finally, you're going to be having a conjunction with that, because the moon is going to be in Aquarius. It's going to set up on top of Saturn in Aquarius, which is still retrograde right now. And it's going to make you think long and hard about how long Saturn has been in Aquarius, what work has it been trying to do in your natal chart with you personally, and have you accomplished it? And you're going to be feeling it whether or not you have. You're going to know. There's going to be a moment when you're going to be sitting there going, holy shit, I didn't do this and I didn't do that and I wish I'd done this. And, that's what that is. But the beauty and the opportunity comes right after that, because the moon in Aquarius is giving a beautiful, beautiful trine over to Mars in Gemini, finally. So no more hardship, right? The energy of Mars, who isn't quite retrograde yet, he's slowing down, but he's in Gemini, and he can get a lot done in Gemini, a lot of communications, a lot of things can happen fast, a lot of clarity can come through, especially with that being a sextile. You get those two air signs of Aquarius and Gemini together, and Mars is very passionate. He's got a lot of vital energy. That gives you a lot of energy with that moon, with your emotions, to literally use your emotions to create where you want to go next from here. Because the very next place the moon goes is going to be that odd angle again. It's like an conjunct with that Mercury in Virgo. Okay, so it's going to have you then take your eyes and look at your everyday, Monday life and affairs, your health, your everyday work, your rituals, your routines. It's wanting you to look at that stuff. And it's going to have you look at it as you go to bed on Wednesday the 5th. That's going to occur around 10 o'clock or around 1 a.m., depending on where you're at. Now, moving on into Thursday the 6th, we're going to see the moon in Aquarius making an odd in conjunct to Mercury in Virgo. And that's the continuation from the one I was just talking about from Wednesday the 5th. That's just going to continue on until the moon enters into Pisces, which will happen about 8:47 a.m. The moon enters Pisces. Then Mercury in Virgo makes a beautiful trine to Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto's still retrograde, keep in mind. So basically, all of that work that you've been doing that last night, Wednesday the 5th, whatever might be keeping you awake about your health matters, or just your routines, or something about your daily work habits, or your schedule maybe that you need to change, or a cleaning habit. I don't know. It could be anything. Something like that is coming up for you, and there's going to be a trine happening there, and you're going to realize really easily what's super easy for you to let go of and just blow it away like dust to the wind, and let Pluto take it out with that death. Let the alchemy of the air signs come in and transmute that for you through the trine, and let you have the beauty that you need for your everyday life. And the moon is going to be moving into Pisces and making an in conjunct to Venus in Libra. So you still got some work to do to kind of balance this stuff out, but you can do it. And that brings us into Friday the 7th. And on Friday the 7th, we're going to be having that same energy like I just spoke about. At 6:49 a.m., the sun in Libra will be opposing Chiron in Aries. So there's bound to be some light shown on you and how you've been hurt in relationships. So just gird your loins a little for that and know that there might be an event that were to come up for you. It could be in a dream, or it could be later on that day, maybe first thing when you go to work. But something could bring that up and trigger it. And then later that day, about the time you get to work, I would say roughly, the moon, of course, is still in Pisces. It's going to be making an in conjunct to that sun in Libra. So you're still having to do a lot of work with this Libra energy, the sun in Libra. It's really wanting to show you where you need to bring balance to your relationships And the moon and Neptune's making it hard for you to see. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, the moon in Pisces is making it hard for you to see. The moon in Pisces is beautiful. It's very poetic and dreamy and musical. And I think it's one of the highest octaves, closest to God that there is. But it can also be very murky and delusional in its lower octaves. So I want you to understand that if you are taking my words and applying them, and you're going into this with your eyes open, and you understand, having heard what I've said, then you can use these energies to completely balance out everything in your life that you need to. You know, you don't have to go back after the fact and say, oh, geez, I wish I'd have heard this first. This happens in succession, guys, and if we're doing our part, we don't miss the mark. So be in your high octave with your emotions on Friday the 7th. You're going to need to, because it's the only way you're going to be able to really get what you need out of these aspects, because that moon in Pisces is going to sextile Uranus and Taurus, and that's beautiful as well, but it's also going to be challenging. It's going to be squaring over to that Mars in Gemini, which again is like more of the same. Just, it's an air energy coming up against a water energy for starters, and they don't get along very well, and the moon and the Mars certainly don't get along very well in the first place. So for them to be in a challenge against, up against each other, I'm just expecting more issues with communication and emotionally speaking. So be very clear with the way you emotionally communicate. Make space for other people so that you can make sure that you're understanding them. If you go that extra mile, I think it'll make a big difference for you. And we're going to finish off our day on Friday with that moon in Pisces conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, which ought to be just beautiful. Folding up of that day, if I were you, I'd go straight to bed and do the meditation I'm going to upload for your Aries Full Moon meditation. Carry that with you into your dreams, because that's going to be a perfect time for you to dream, to journal, to manifest. Go ahead and start writing it down. Real quick, I'll go over the astrology Friday for Friday and Saturday, and I'm going to talk briefly about Sunday. All right, Friday, I mostly touched on this stuff, but the main things to know is that moving on into Saturday, we've got that moon in Pisces doing this beautiful sextile to Pluto and Capricorn. And the beautiful thing about that is that it's almost as though our feelings and our emotions get to meet with the God of death and destruction and transformation and alchemy and rebirth. How rare does that feel, And it's a sextile. To me, that means there could be healing involved, for sure. And that moon will move on from that to being in opposition to Mercury in Virgo. So whatever it's had to say to Pluto, it then has had that conversation, and then it's going to go over and it's going to have this conversation with that Mercury in Virgo, like, look, okay, this is something else we need to adjust. So you see how we're in retrograde periods, we're in a constant state of adjustment, and this is why I'm going to be putting out this new retrograde video as well. And it's all being worked on in the background. I'd have to edit and get it, there's all sorts of background stuff, you guys, if you have YouTube videos, Okay, so the moon in Pisces is going to be opposing that, and that conversation. But the moon then enters Aries, and that's going to occur at 11:57 a.m. or 8:57 a.m., depending on where you're at. But after the moon conjuncts Neptune on Friday, it's a short opposition, but I think that you can get really good insight, especially if you're somebody that likes to get up early in the morning. And if you're not, at least be willing to record your dreams, right? That's the best way to have that. So, and then when the moon enters Aries, we tend to start thinking a lot more about ourselves, but that's the job of Aries. They're just supposed to be, right? But selfish to what end, right? It's only to the who am I, or the I am, right? And we're heading into a full moon here. But before we do, right before a full moon, we're going to have the moon on Jupiter in Aries. That's huge. That's huge Aries energy on Saturday the 8th. I mean, that's a lot of me. But if it's used in the right way, then it can be balanced out, because we're always given opportunity for that, because Pluto goes direct, my friends, at 5:56 p.m., 2:56 p.m., depending on where you're at. So you see what I'm saying? Pluto's coming direct. Yeah. Finally. I know the shadow period's there for a while, and Pluto's just, well, Pluto. But nevertheless, yay! Now that takes us to the full moon in Aries, happening at 16 degrees and 33 minutes. I have it down at 4:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my Astro-Weekly. I'm going to go ahead and do my full moon report for Aries. It's going to be a much shorter one, followed by a full moon in Aries meditation that I've designed specifically for you for the full moon Aries, so that you can know exactly, you can utilize this energy for your very best. I'm going to weave in it everything that I know, all my tools, all my skills, all my knowledge, all my experience in hypnosis, hypnotherapy, neurolinguistics programming, shamanism, shamanic journeys, meditation, guided meditations, even Reiki and other energy healing modalities, because I love to infuse those into my healing as well. Also, give me your feedback in the comments, because I like hearing what you like and what you don't. But these meditations that I want to give you are totally me. They're a variety of many different teachers I've had over the years. Many. I mean, more than I can count on both hands, if that gives you any idea. And I do pay homage and respect every last one of them. It's hard for me to sit here and name them all off by hand, but if you go to my website, I think you can find them all on there. But I don't want to digress into that. I want to tell you that I am very well skilled in this, and I want to put it to good use for you, because I feel like people are in desperate need of not just guidance, which the meditations provide, but they also provide a way for you to get the change work that you need. So it's a way for me to help you do your shadow work. It's a way for me to help you manifest. It's a way for me to help you to cut loose the ties that bind you that you don't need. It's a way for me to help you through your soul growth. It's a way for me to help you nurture and cultivate your soul path. And so if this is something that interests you, I really wish for you to comment below. It gives me more gusto and more energy with which to put out that type of work. The more positive response and feedback I get on certain videos, the more of that kind of content I will make. Unless I get other feedback like your comments, or if you would be so kind as to send me an email, beth@soulfiremultiversity.com or info@soulfireincorporated.com. It doesn't matter. Either email address listed in the show notes will get you a message to me the quickest and fastest, easiest way. And I always want your feedback. It's always important to me. So yes, there's lots to do with manifestation and with each full and new moon. And until I can get back out there again to my local community and offer shamanic full moon fire ceremonies, new moon ceremonies, astrological circles, women's circles, so on and so forth, I feel that this is the outlet that I have, and it's the one that I will use for now. Now, if you are not local in the East Tennessee or the Tennessee region, Appalachian region, let me know. I do travel for conferences and to speak, of course, but yeah, that's something I also wanted to just sort of put out there, because I haven't yet. Also, I want to let you know, before I do go, Mars is going to be going retrograde on October 30th. I know I've said that before. I will keep reminding you, but I highly recommend you put it in your date book now. Like I said, Pluto direct will be October 8th. I do want to tell you October 7th is also the Draconoid meteor shower. So if you like meteor showers, put that down for October 7th and make sure you've got you a nice place to look in your telescope in the deep sky of night where you can see no noise pollution. No light pollution. That's the most ideal time. Now, the most exciting thing, Saturn comes direct on October 30th. Now, I know we are coming out of these retrograde energies, but because we're still in shadow under Mercury retrograde, the next one I'll be putting up will be the retrograde video. That is my hope. But I also want to do a meditation for you all for the Aries full moon. Now, I might not have that uploaded until the day of the full moon, but that's okay. I want you to have it a good 8 hours prior to the new moon, and there's a good reason for that. 8 hours prior to the new moon is the most potent and powerful time for you to make your manifestation and new magic wishes, okay? So, if you plan to have any kind of elemental, like fire would be good. We are in Libra season, so smoke would be good. Incense, sage, whatever you would like. If you don't want to do anything meditate, you are perfectly fine. That's all you need. If you like to be outside, that's great too. Feet on grass, I'm even happier. Okay? So our main concern with this is to go as very deeply as we can into the Aries zodiac and into the moon energies and into our own emotions and into our own soul pattern and growth and manifest the best life that we can for ourselves. So just know that that's something that I'm working for you in the next couple of weeks that I'm working in the background. I also have other free resources that I've loaded up for you on my website if you'd like to go check those out at www.soulfiremultiversity.com. You can look under the free page. I continue to upload. That is an ever-growing free resource for you in addition to all my blogs, which again, ever-growing, and in addition to my YouTube channel, which again, ever-growing. And I endeavor to continue to put up free things for you. I have a lot of things that are ready that I have just not had time to upload yet. I will be making those announcements. I do hope that you are in a place of reception from me. I hope that you are in a place where if I dispatch information that is important about ceremonies, about gatherings, about teachings, workshops, about gatherings that we can do for community building, for spiritual building, announcements I want to make about things going to be turning on my channel. If you want to be part of that process especially, or just be in the know on those things, I invite you, please come and be a part of my newsletter. It is fantastic. I don't send out spam. I love sending out announcements about my YouTube uploads. I send those out. Those are usually equipped with my blogs. I will always send out a newsletter when I have a new blog. I send out newsletters when I have news that I want to share, and that could be cosmic news, that could be astrological news, that could be personal news. It could be any kind of news. It could be classes that I'm preparing and planning. So, okay, if you're interested in all that stuff, and there are all kinds of surveys I send out, polls I have you, quizzes I have you take part in, you are one of those. You're certainly one of those that I want to provide what you need to. Your 2 cents counts. So don't be silent. Heck, if you're not comfortable posting your comment on social media, I get it. Just send me an email. If you don't want me to send me an actual email, you can always send me one through my website. And a lot of times in those newsletters will be a lot of channeled insight and downloads that I get. Sometimes just bursts of inspiration, which a lot of times come through this format. I'll just be sitting in my bed or doing other work, and I suddenly just get a download, and I just have to record it this way. and put these images that you see with it, and hope that you're being entertained while you're listening to what I hope you get some good use out of, some good information. So that's all that I have for now, and I hope you look forward to the retrograde video as well as the full moon. I think we're going to do maybe like a 10-10 portal full moon Aries thing. We'll do some sort of a celebration. You tell me in the comments what you'd like to see. And I will see you on the flip side.